Next up, the crew goes over AEW Dynamite from Wednesday night and gives their thoughts on each segment and each match. But you can hear even more, as well as a full NXT review on the Patreon site at patreon.com/Conan and Conan.me.
So what I thought was great about this, same thing as Disco, it was very enjoyable to watch because you're watching two shows at the same time, and whatever interests you more, you watch that. During the commercials, you watch the other show, so you're never really bored because fucking Raw drags on forever. That's why I don't watch it live. And I'd rather watch these shows taped also for the same reason. All right, so we're going to start first with AEW, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Do you remember what the first match was?
What was Eddie Kingston against?
Well, that's
Cody
right.
Rhodes.
Okay. All right. What'd you think of that?
Go ahead.
I saw on social media and Tony Khan and whatnot that they were doing an independent wrestler or some well-known independent wrestler was coming in to wrestle Cody. So I was interested to see. Eddie was one of the first names I thought of. I wasn't sure what his deal with NWA was or whatever, so it was good to see him. I'm a big fan. I watched his stuff in CZW back in the day, up to NWA today, to the stuff that he did with you in Impact, Conan, and it was great to see him. I thought the match was really good for what it was. It gave Eddie a chance to show what he could do, and I wasn't surprised at the ending or anything like that. But I was happy to see Eddie on there, and hopefully they keep using him. Hopefully he earned a spot in their eyes.
Yeah, I mean, when you personally know somebody, the match has a little bit more importance. I know Eddie. I know how much he's been in the business trying to get a big break. He's absolutely one of the most underrated promos in the business. Good worker, not great. Not a match I'd want to see again. Good promo. When he was in Impact, I thought he killed it with Homicide and Hernandez. I liked it because it was physical, which is Eddie's style. I kind of thought it was weird because I thought the finish came out of nowhere. If I remember it correctly, got suplexed on some tacks or got suplexed. Maybe it wasn't on tacks. Didn't sell it. Hit the ropes, ducked the clothesline, and got him in the figure four, and that was it. I thought that was kind of like a finish out of nowhere instead of building up to it. But good overall.
Yeah, he slammed him in the tacks. He hit him with a belly to back, and Cody did the Hulk up right out of the suplex.
Yeah, hit the rope.
Yeah,
so I didn't put him in the figure four. That was it. I thought that was anticlimactic. Go ahead.
I didn't like that either.
It was, and this to me is a tactical mistake that AEW not tactical, but bro, this is just the way all those guys on that roster work. Okay, they do too much stuff that just means nothing. Like, bro, it's like they just did the thumbtacks just to do the thumbtacks.
Right.
Like it did, bro, they're like doing tons of things on that show that are forgotten. Like 2 minutes later, and that would be they would mean something if you made them mean something. But they just do so many spots of that show that just for the sake of doing them, they mean something in the moment. Like, wow, thumbtack, and then and it had really nothing to do with the finish or nothing. Right. My second thing is that Eddie, I didn't mind the match, but I thought JR kind of buried him a little bit. Eddie Kingston. You know what I was saying? Like, he's trying to get in shape and stuff. There was a little commentary that I thought was surly JR. So, it's just like. Right,
like he even said it during the girls' match. He goes, yeah, we should rename this Idaho because they were kind of.
JR was very entertaining tonight if you're listening, if you were paying attention to him, right?
He maybe had a couple mules before the show.
But this is a thing too that I'm not a fan of on their show is they're doing like New York. The guy comes out, he has the mic, he cuts a promo. They have it's all in one segment. Like they're having Eddie if Eddie Kingston can talk, and that is his forte. Okay, you have him send in a couple promos for a couple weeks. So you get people interested in him when he has the match,
right? Because he's a guy. He's a guy that can make you want to watch the match with his words, and not many people can do that.
Right, and I'm already the match is. I think I'm supposed to be getting the match. I'm already tuned into the match, and now he's talking. It's not going to give me any more interest in the match. It's like I'm turning in because to watch because the match.
Well, they're trying to interest. Right, they're trying to.
They're trying to do, but I think this is when we talk about the writing of the show. Okay, yeah, if Eddie's a good talker, why don't you have him cut that promo to start the show to sell the match later? Because he cuts a good promo. And then, and so that's what I didn't. I said to me they're putting effort in, but it's like I don't know. It's just like it's weird how they just have a different philosophy than I have, and I think these are tactical mistakes when it comes to writing their show.
They're
valid points, like when you say they're just using thumbtacks for the sake of thumbtacks. Who could argue with you on that?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, we are making. But here's the problem, Di. When you have enough, and I'm not saying this is the case with us. When you have enough people saying, "Oh, you guys are haters," or "You're this," or "You're that," a lot of people might second guess themselves, but there is no second guessing. These are valid points that if you think, we're telling you this. Yeah. I'll give you an example. Something that I was thinking about this when I was watching it. Can you imagine if every match that is like high flying, that sells very little to none at all, right? Mm-hmm. That does all the weak looking shit. Can you imagine if they punched with the same physicality that Cross and Dijovic or whatever his name is? What's his name, Joe?
Donovan Dijakovic.
Yeah. How much better every match would be?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What was the next match in AEW?
Well, I was real quick. I wanted to tack on what Di said about JR. I noticed it right away because one of the first things Kingston did was he went to do a dragon screw leg whip, and Cody kind of went the wrong way or whatever they did. It didn't turn out right, and JR was like, and then he started slugging him in the corner, and JR goes, "You can tell Kingston's way more at home with the physicality than he is with the leg drag or whatever. Like he shit on his move because it didn't work. It was the same kind of thing."
Well, that's kind of the way they break the fourth wall in their show.
Yeah.
Tony Khan is tweeting in and out of character. As soon as the show is over, these guys are giving interviews out of character, talking about so it's like, right? So JR can do that.
I will say this, since I know he doesn't do a malicious intent, and I other people in that position have taken advantage of it to shoot shots.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it because he's thinking the same thing you're thinking. Well, I mean, you're a good brawler. That's what he's basically doing. Why are you doing wrestling moves? Especially when one went the wrong way.
Right.
So
do
you think
I don't take it the wrong way, huh?
Do you think they're making Khan a character? Because it seemed like Eddie was like, Tony put me in here, and he wants it to be no DQ and stuff.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'll be honest, I do not know.